Hi, my name is Chris Boyer, and for the purposes of PE 582, this is a video response for week 4, application strengths in your teaching and coaching. So first is to share with you my signature themes report from Gallup polls and my 5 top strengths. So my first of my top strengths is command, and command leads me to take charge. Unlike some, I feel no discomfort in imposing my views on other people. In fact, when I formulate a view, I need to share it with others, and I enjoy to align other people or get other people to align with my view. And this completely describes who I am in reality. So I have no problem sharing my opinion. I'm not frightened by confrontation generally. And an example of this, I can remember even being 20 years old, or maybe 22 years old at most. I remember being in an elevator with a guy who was my mentor, and this guy, I super respected him. He was like a previous MMA fighter. So he was just a great guy, super respected him in a ton of ways. But we're standing in an elevator late night at this one, college Christian campus retreat thing, and he's eating a bag of Lay's chips while we're going up the elevator. And I'm like, I don't know why you eat like that. I don't get it. Like, why would you eat that food? That was my viewpoint, and I felt the need that it was just so like in me that I'm like, I had to say something to him. And I remember he shared a Bible verse with me. A fool just shares his opinion everywhere he goes. And so that kind of resonated with me and helped me to put on some more filters with my sharing in the way that I want to share my convictions with other people. I want to be more filtered and more decisive about it, but I have no problem sharing my opinion with other people, and I like it when I can align other people with my viewpoint. So I'm compelled to share the facts, and sometimes I feel like it's very unemotional. Like I'm like, this is just a fact. This is just the way it is. Let me just share a statistic with you so you understand this is truth. And so I will be compelled to share if I'm convinced of something. Second one is woo. So woo is winning others over. I was definitely not very excited to see this strength, because this one starts, the name of this one is winning others over, which may sound in some way like, yay, like you like to win other people over, but it's trying to win the approval of other people, and that just doesn't sound very appealing to me. So when I heard this, I was like, I don't like that. But what it does say in the definition is you enjoy the challenge of meeting new people and getting them to like you. And that just nails it right on the head. I mean, right out the gate, I enjoy to meet people. I am gregarious. That is a word that I've described myself with for the longest time, and I see it in my dad. My dad is like the same way. Very gregarious. I love to jump into a group of people, get to know people. I'm not even good at remembering people's names, but I enjoy engaging, making eye contact, sharing stories, breaking the ice, like all that just really brings me alive. So strangers are not intimidating to me. I'm rarely at a loss for words. I enjoy to talk and to interact, especially when it's with new relationships. This particular strength really, I think, was one of the reasons why I became a student minister, because I enjoyed to be in a group of people, talk with everyone, go out onto a college campus and just get into conversations with people, whether they were like me or not like me, or they had different beliefs than me. I was happy to jump out there and just talk to people and engage. One of the basements is definitely that you could be shallow, or there can be an agenda behind like utilizing this strength and when you're using it for work. I like that I want to be known by other people and know other people, and I like that aspect of this strength. When I was younger, I feel like I did a lot more of this, even as it pertains to like going surfing and being out in the lineup, that you'd want to be out in the lineup and get to know everybody in the lineup and talk and just always talking with people. And I think as I've gotten older, I've definitely dialed it down. Okay, my next strength, communication. I like to describe things ad nauseum, and so I literally can just go on, and that's a strength that I have. And maybe my videos are too long, but that's maybe why I'm going into teaching, because I do not mind taking information and drawing a picture and describing it, and then adding a story to describe the picture, and then coming up with an illustration and a second illustration. So in the definition it says you like to explain, to describe, host, speak in public, and write. And those are just go right into who I am. That's absolutely. Now for my wife, we could be riding in the car and I start getting excited about talking about something, and then I just can go on, and she's like, we got it. You could stop now. Like, you're really excited about describing whatever it is that I'm talking about, like something super random. My wife will be like, we got it, you're good. And so that's where pure editing really helps in my writing, and with even my videos. I like to edit my videos because then I shorten them up and take a lot of my speaking and talking out. I don't think boring is a style. So in communication, I really like to capture people's attention, and I feel that most information is lost and it's really hard to capture people's attention. So the way that I communicate is in such a way that I feel like people are going to lose the information if it's not told with passion and told with like 3 stories so that they really remember it. Okay, my 4th strength is significance. And so again, this was the other one that I wasn't really excited to hear, because significance also indicates being significant in the eyes of other people. And so this also included like, caring about what other people think. And I hate to think that I care what other people think. The definition of significance says you want to be significant in the eyes of other people. Yay. But in the truest sense, you want to be recognized. I thought that's absolutely true. I'm always looking to, in some way, say this is what I did, and show other people that I'm good, show other people that I'm credible. When I see a high-level athlete, I want to be next to them, because I want to, first of all, even if I'm a beginner, then I want to learn from them, and I want to be around them because I feel like they do it right and I feel like they're good, and so I want to be with them. But also anything that I do well, anything that I pick up and they recognize, hey, you just started, but you did that like this well. You did this well, you did that well. And so you'll be able to emulate, even if it's 1% of what they're doing, they're going to recognize what you're doing well. So I would much rather be circled with professionals and circled with higher level athletes, circled with people who might be better than me, but I want to be recognized as doing things well. Here it says you need to be admired as a credible professional and successful. Likewise, you want to associate with others who are credible, professional, and successful. So I like circling myself with black belts, even if I'm a white belt. I want to achieve things, and this desire for significance has helped me to achieve a lot of things. As far as school, same thing, just achieving and trying to achieve the next level has always been very important to me. Significance theme will keep pulling you upward, away from mediocre towards the exceptional. And I would say that that is absolutely true, that this desire in me just keeps pulling me towards trying to do what I can do better and achieve my fullest personal potential. Okay, my last one is activator. So activator says, when can we start? And that's absolutely who I am. Once I get an idea in my mind, then I'm like, I have to get it done. I have to do it. And it's not just about, it could be a project that I decide that I'm going to build something with my hands, and I'm going to do this project, and then my mind just goes in circles about it. Or if I think, hey, I'm going to get that job and then I'm going to move, which is kind of where I am right now, finishing my preliminary credential program, hoping to get hired here in the fall. My mind just keeps going back to like, when can we start? And in this strength, it is like, these are the people that you want to put at the front of the crowd. That this is the person that wants to get everyone together at the start line, pull the trigger, and get going. And so I am an activator. It's just, let's go. When I started last year with Los Osos High School, as soon as I could get approved to be coaching the boys, it was like the next day, it's like, hey, let's meet at 5 a.m. And I didn't have the whole plan for the season. I didn't have all the plans of what I wanted to accomplish or how I was going to get there. But I knew some of the first steps. I knew what those first steps looked like. And so I wanted to get there and start going. And that's the kind of person I am. I might have there might be 7 steps in a process and I only have 3 of them in sight, but I'm like, I know what those first 3 steps are, so I'm going to do it. Okay, so with being an activator, I am comfortable with movement. I'm comfortable with things moving forward and kind of believe we're going to figure it out along the way, and I'm going to see the next mile marker and know what kind of adjustments I need to make in the route there, and if I have to pause along the way, it's fine. Okay, so part 2 of this video is for me to discuss being in an interview and discussing my strengths, and I really appreciate this because how I'm able to use this in a potential job interview. I've sat in a few job interviews since doing the Strengths Finder, and I've been in a bunch of interviews throughout my life, so I feel like this is absolutely applicable when you're asked what are your strengths and weaknesses. I could actually now reference my strengths and be able to say these are the strengths of my strengths, and there's also this weakness that comes along with it. So I really like this. So if I was sitting in a job interview and I wanted to discuss these 5 strengths, I would talk about that I really like to win other people over. And so that's a strength that I have, because what I can do is I can really get out there and have no problem developing new relationships, being in a big group of people, interacting. And then what I could talk about on the other side of things with winning other people over is sometimes a problem is I could be shallow, or people can start to think there's an agenda behind my being gregarious and charismatic. And so that's something where, you know, an employer can sit there and go, oh, that's great, you like to talk to other people and get into a big group of people. And yeah, that can be a problem, but it's almost like when you present it that way, your weakness can come across as a strength, and you're presenting your weakness in a strength lens. And then I would talk about my communication, that I really like to communicate. I really like to break down information. One of the problems with that is that I don't necessarily I'm not as good at listening. So I've had to work on my listening over the years because I'm such a strong communicator. I love to talk. I love to engage. I like to win other people over. And then I like to really communicate complex information and make it simple so people understand. Another one that I would really like to share in an interview is just how I really am an activator, and I like to activate things. I like to get going. I like to move. When I get my mind set on things, I'm gonna do whatever I can to get started. And I have a strong belief that I can do it. I have a strong belief that I can handle it. Now, one of the negative aspects of that is, well, if I don't think through everything that I need to think through before starting, that can be a negative thing. And so I've learned over the years how putting people around me that help, they really think critically, and they might even be a little bit pessimistic. They're going to give me the devil's advocate side of starting a project or going in a certain direction. So I really appreciate having those people around me, and that's really helped me utilize my strength as an activator. So those are some of the ones I would share in a job interview professionally. I feel like sharing the strengths of it, sharing the weakness of it, but sharing the weakness always in a way that I've learned from it, and that I can say I have a way to work on it as I work for you.